You're listening to Brandon Sports Talk, interviewing professional athletes and Paralympians and Olympians. And now for your professional athlete interview and your host, Brandon Pate. Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing the Michigan Panthers USFL's football player Ryan Nilsson. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing really well today. Great day, Monday morning. Got legs after this, so it'll be a good day.
That's good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in playing in professional football?
I mean, I think the first time it ever became a thought for me was in high school. We had this captain's meeting, and one of my coaches goes, "You're gonna play professionally. Stay on the right path. Listen to your coaches, and then just be a good person off the field." And I was like 13 or 14 at the time. I was like, oh, "Okay, like, that's funny." And then I was like, "Hey, that can actually be something I could do. I love it. I love playing." So I put my nose to the grindstone. Ended up getting a decent amount of offers, played Division I football, and then was like, you know what? I'm going to pursue it. I'm going to see what can happen, and I'm here now.
What was that experience like for you getting to go to Virginia Cavaliers and getting to play collegiate football?
Absolutely loved it. It's the atmosphere, the people you're around, everything is just electric. Coming out of a tunnel, crowd going crazy, and then my personal favorite, going and playing an away game where the crowd's going nuts and you guys steal the energy and win it. Can't beat it. No matter what type of atmosphere you're used to, you ask anyone in beating another team that's going insane in their home stadium, watching their fans get the life sucked out of them is amazing.
What was that feeling like getting to put on the Virginia Cavaliers jersey and representing them?
So I actually have them framed in my room right now, but it's an amazing feeling. Your name, their last name's on your back. The state of Virginia, everyone loves the Commonwealth that's there. Like you were Tech, and we have our rivalry, and we have the personal things we say that I will not say on the podcast, but everyone loves it. You put it on, you know that you're representing the history of Virginia. Our school's founded by Thomas Jefferson. It's a really smart school, really good football, and there's so much behind it. And even now, there's so much going on in Virginia that you're proud to say you're an alumni. You're proud to say that you wore it. You're proud to have it. You're proud to be part of that family.
What was your experience like getting to play in the ACC and playing some big teams like UNC, NC State, Duke, and Clemson?
So absolutely loved it. Because I pride myself on the fact that I lost to North Carolina one time. We lost to Duke one. We never lost to Duke. Beat them every single year I was there. Uh, Playing at NC State, playing at Clemson, amazing games, amazing atmosphere, amazing stadiums. You have to love it. But just playing these big teams like Florida State, Clemson. I played Lamar after he won a Heisman. Like I played Trevor the year after he won a national championship. Those are huge games. We played the U and we beat the U when they were what 13 in the nation. We were unranked. We beat them on my mom's birthday. Like there was no better days and things you could do than play in the ACC Saturday night or Friday night, and you're playing and you're like, everyone's here, everyone's watching, it's on TV. People want to see what's going on because it's an ACC football game, and I'm ready to go.
How was that experience, like you said, getting to play those players that are now in the NFL, like Lamar Jackson and Trevor Lawrence, while in college?
So you always think like you have to naturally find yourself as like a great player, like, oh, well, I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever. And then you see someone who just won the Heisman. You're like, okay, I can see why. Like he's absolutely electric, playmaker, makes it happen with his arm, his legs. It doesn't matter. He wins. Trevor Lawrence is like, I see what everyone else is talking about, but I got to see it in person. Like I see the athlete that he is. I see how freakishly large that man is. He ran by me during warm-ups, and I was like, oh, the tight end's around. And I was like, wait, never mind, that's Trevor. Okay. And you do this stuff, and you're like, you have to have the level of confidence. You're like, oh, I'm king dog. I'm this, that, whatever in college or in football in general. And then you see like the kingfish of kingfish. You're like, okay, I see it. I see why. It's just absolutely dynamic. You love every second of it, and you learn to just go with it, and you rise up to the occasion. Because if you don't, it's not going to end well for you.
While in college, what were some of your biggest accomplishments on the playing field?
Personally, I would say I had 49 straight collegiate starts. So I started 25 or something like that at left tackle, the rest at left guard. I got film at both guards and a little bit at tackle. I think I had like a half sack in my last 2 years of college. We upset Miami. We upset Louisville. We upset UNC. Like just big games where we upset people. We beat Virginia Tech. We won the cup, and there's a really cool photo that's around of me legit holding the cup, and it's like it was everyone's wallpaper for the longest time. Like I would hop on a Zoom call with like strangers, and I would see it as like their green screen, and I'm like, message private like, hey, by the way, that's me, and they're like, oh, because like Virginia, like older alumni love it. It's the first time it happened in like 16 years. They absolutely loved it. So that by itself would say like that's a really cool moment for me because when you jump on the Zoom and you see random people using you, it's kind of cool. And then playing wise, I can just think of some of like the big plays that I had, like the 2-point conversion against Florida State that sealed the game, where I led block for Bryce Perkins and he walked into the end zone, or just some of like the big blocks I had on like screens and stuff against like Miami and stuff like that. Like stuff like that sticks out to me. Playing accomplishments, like I think it was like a fourth team ACC guy, like not a huge thing to me, like whatever. But just the aspect of like what I actually accomplished on the field with the guys I carried to be around, and then the teams we beat, the upsets we had, stuff like that. That's the stuff I remember.
Coming out of college, what was that experience like getting into professional football?
It's a roller coaster. I mean, pre-draft, you have these teams calling you, talking about how we're going to call you, we're going to call you, we're going to call you, and you're like, okay, okay, ready. And then the draft process happens, and you're like sitting in a chair watching the draft, like, is my phone going to go off? And it's a lot. Like a lot of people don't want to talk about it. A lot of people act like it's a taboo. Like, dude, like the less than the less than the 1% of the 1% of like the 1% play in the NFL, let alone get drafted to the NFL. You're just looking for the shot to get the chance to keep playing. I don't care where it was. I don't care where it is now. As long as someone wants to pay me to play football and lets me continue playing the game I love and giving back to the community like I love doing, then I'm absolutely about it. I want to do it. That's what I want to do with my life.
Of course, coming out of college from Virginia, did you get an opportunity at the NFL? And what was that experience like if you did?
So I got a chance to go to the New York Giants rookie minicamp. It was absolutely awesome. I was there with all the guys they drafted. I want to say I think they had like 17 offensive linemen at the time, and like that they had already signed. So like you're not really looking for another one. But I went in with a positive attitude and a work ethic, trying to beat out everyone. I got to take some like first team reps at left tackle with the guys they had just drafted and everything. So I'm like, oh, okay, killed it, absolutely loved it. I got to see my cousin who was on the Giants for a little bit, so we got to talk a little bit. But loved it, loved the atmosphere. That's why I'm trying to get back to it.
What was that experience like for you getting to work with the Giants to then help you to make the jump to the USFL?
It was awesome, like as you go higher up, and this is the thing I tell people when like I teach or when I train kids and all that. Every coach is going to coach you a completely different way. I need you to do this with your feet. I need you to do this with your hands. Every single coach will have a different method. But what you have to be able to do is take what you learned from my college coach, then Bobby with the Giants, and then to Winnipeg, and then to my coach right now, Tim Holt, USFL. Take what each of these guys tell you, put together what works best for you, and put out your best performance on the field. Because it may make sense to someone else if I tell you, all right, throw hands independently, this way, that way, whatever. But maybe it doesn't make sense to you, and you're like, well, I'm a two-hand punch guy that needs to do X, Y, Z, or I'm someone who catches because I'm really strong. Okay, cool. Try to do what you're told to do, see if it can work, and then adapt off of it. Become the best player you can be by being coachable.
How was that experience like for you getting to go to the CFL and getting to play with the Winnipeg?
So the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, amazing organization, a real blue blood of the CFL. I mean, they're in the Grey Cup every year. I think before I got there, they were back-to-back champs. The year I was there, they went back to the championship again, lost to Toronto, and I think they lost again this year as well. But the atmosphere is different. Those are guys who are playing football. They love it. The city's behind them. The whole state of Manitoba is behind them. I mean, you go up to Canada, you say I play for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and they're like, whoa, like that's the team up there. But it was absolutely amazing. Loved it. Loved meeting the guys. It was the only difference for me was I think I went up there and I was 20, it was 22. I was 22, fresh out of college, just had my cup of tea with the New York Giants, and I got dudes who are like, yeah, I'm in my 40s with two, 3 kids. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like, these are some grown men. Like, I'm a grown man. I'm 22 at the time. I was like, I'm 6 foot, 5, 6, like 330. And these are dudes who were like old enough to be my dad. And I'm just like, whoa, what's going on here? But absolutely loved it. Great guys. Stan, Yosh, all of them, absolutely loved them. Those guys were people who kind of taught me how to be versatile at the tackle spot. And I owe a lot to them right now.
Of course, how did that experience with the Winnipeg Jets in the CFL help you to make that jump to the USFL?
So the Winnipeg Blue Bombers helped me go from a one-sided player of just being able to play the left side. And I was really good at the left side. I played it all college. Did not have to play the right side consistently. So I get to Winnipeg and they say, hey, you're going to work right tackle. In my 22 years of life, I've never done that. So I had to work it. And there's growing pains. You can't just like, if I told you to write left-handed right now and you're not left-handed, you're going to be bad at it for a while. So I had to figure out how to do that. And the vets helped me out a lot. And when I got to the USFL, I was like, hey, I can play 4 spots for you. And I can do 4 spots consistently. So that's what I did. I think we ended up playing the New Jersey Generals. I want to say it's like a game 7 or 8 last year. And my coach and we lost one of our tackles right before the game, and we didn't bring an extra guy. So we were down. We usually keep 7. We were down to 6. And he goes, all right, you're going to play everything today besides center. I was like, I can do that. So I started off the game at left guard, then moved the left tackle, then moved the right guard, and then moved the right tackle, just so everyone could get a breather. Because I don't think people consider it. And skill dudes, you guys get to run routes. Bless their souls. Dude, you're 200 pounds, maybe 250 if you're a big skill guy, And you're getting a break up. You're getting rotated out. your big boys up front, 300 plus pound human beings, we don't come out. We don't do that much. So to have someone who can bump around and, yeah, dude, I got you, and get a breather, and who can do it at a high level, I felt like that just raised my draft stock. And that originally comes back to my time in Winnipeg and my trainer, Deshaun Burns. I mean, when I train right now, I train 4 different spots consistently, and then I'm trying to pick up center currently right now, just so I can add that to my resume. What I learned in college was the more you can do, the more you can, the more you can do, the more you can do, the more you can play. So,
What was that feeling like for you getting to get drafted and hear your name being called to become a Michigan Panther?
so actually, I wasn't drafted. So the draft happens, what, April, I think, something like that. I got signed in November. So they draft, I want to say it's 8 or 9 guys, but the majority of USFL players are free agent signees where they call you and they're like, hey, we just saw that you're a free agent trying to still play football. Do you want to come play for us? It's a chance to keep playing while trying to get in the NFL. If you get signed in the NFL, we release your contract, you can go. And I was like, I'm on my lunch break substitute teaching, like kindergarten that day. I'm like, hello, and they're like, hey, da da da. And I was like, yeah, man, send the contract over. I'll sign it right now. But also, being someone who cares about where I put my name, what I do with my phone, I had to read it. I had to read it, have a copy of it saved. Like, that's just who I am. But it's an amazing experience. And then going out there in Michigan and playing in Ford Field, absolutely electric. Loved every second of it.
What was that feeling like for you getting to sign that contract to become a Panther?
So I personally, I don't believe anything until I see it. I'm not someone who will, oh, we're going to do X, Y, Z. Okay, cool. That's cool and all. Love it, respect it, appreciate it. I will believe it when I see it. So when I got the contract sent over, I signed it up, sent it back, everything cleared. I was like, this is what I want. I want to do this. I'm excited for it. I'm ready for it. Thank you very much. I'm going to bring the best I have, and I'm going to try to win with you.
Of course, after getting it signed and stuff, what was that feeling like the first time you got to put on that Michigan Panthers jersey?
Overdue, like I was ready, just 20, 23 years old, sitting here, and I'm like, I want to play. I want to play. I haven't got to actually play a game since my senior year of college in 2021, 2022, something like that. I was like, I'm ready to play. I want to play. I want to go out here and I want to show that I can still do it. The first pop, you're like, here it is. I miss this. I miss the feeling. I miss the atmosphere. And then you just kind of switch back over to like what you've been doing your entire life. And like, all right, me versus you. I'm not losing you. And that's what you got to do for all of it.
How did that feeling feel like when you got to put on that burgundy jersey to represent Michigan Panthers?
I'm also staring at that one right now too. I have both my game jerseys from last year, and then I have my ACC championship jersey and my Capital One Orange Bowl jersey up in my room. So I'm looking at the burgundy. Absolutely loved it. Best color in the USFL. Best stadium in the USFL. Best fans in the USFL. You can't tell me otherwise. Everyone else has to go to these either smaller stadiums or collegiate stadiums. We're playing in Ford Field. Detroit loves football. You can't beat that.
What is that feeling like for you as a football player getting to play in Ford Field?
Oh, it's great. You walk in the stadium, you're looking around, you're like, it's a huge place, and then you're like, we're not gonna fail this. There's no way. And then you have a huge fan support coming in. You're like, oh wow, this is great. And of course, you think Detroit, you think hard nosed, gritty, you think people who don't take no for an answer, they're gonna go, and that's kind of what you have to be when playing in Michigan, when playing in Detroit. You have to be what these fans are. And these fans are the grinders, the 9 to 5, 7 days a week if they have to. Like that's what we had to become. And playing in Ford Field, I don't like puts that into perspective for you, and it's just a great feeling all around.
What does it mean to you to be a USFL football player and get to represent the Michigan Panthers?
It means a lot to me because, like I said, every kid's goal growing up is I want to play professional football. Mine is I want to play professional football and then I want to teach. I have a degree in history, minor religious studies, and a master's in educational psychology. I want to be a history teacher when I'm done. So my free time in Michigan was spent volunteering. I was at schools talking to kids. I was at-risk schools talking to kids, trying to keep them on the straight and narrow. I was volunteering and talking to military personnel, going to bases, bringing them lunch. You can do so much with the opportunities you are given, and I wanted to make sure that I fully gave myself not only to the team, but to the city and the state in doing everything I can by using the platform I was given by the USFL.
What is that like balancing being a teacher and also a professional football player?
So for me, it's really cool because I can step in a classroom. Like right now, I substitute teach in my district. I can step in a classroom and tell these kids the full picture of what life can be. I can help you with your athletics. I can help you with your academics. I can help you with your regular everyday life. I talk to these kids like they're people. I treat them like they're people. And that may be a little bad because in some instances, yes, I'm your teacher. I'm your substitute teacher. I'm the adult in charge. But also, it would be a disservice to you if I do not get you ready for anything that happens in your life. As an educator, as an adult, we're supposed to be helping these kids understand, yes, your life may be hard right now. Someone else has been there. I can help you through it. And that's the way I look at it. And balancing that with my training schedule during my off season and then during my actual season, I'm going out and playing. It's actually easier than you think, just because it's 21st century. Like I'm used to being able to do a million things at once. It's part of my life. It's part of like who I am as a person. And it helps me by just being able to, all right, cool. Well, I'm gonna do subbing for these months, teach, and then I'm gonna go play again. And at that point, like these kids are like, oh, that's my teacher. That's my teacher right there. I still go to their games. If they tell me their schedule in class, like, hey, Mr. Nelson, I'm playing this day, whatever. Okay, cool, I got you. I watched water polo the other day. It's one of my favorite students because we all have favorites. We all have favorite students. Let's be real. Your parents have a favorite kid. We all know it. But one of my students goes, Mr. Nelson, like, would you go to my game? And I was like, yeah, like, I've been to the JV baseball games. I'll go watch varsity water polo. I don't care. Do I understand it fully? No, but I'll go watch for you. Like, and just seeing your student light up when they see you walk in, like, oh, that's my teacher. It's just the little thing in life that you can do to make that kid's life feel so much better. Like, their support. I will support you. That's fine. That's no problem with me. So it was a great thing for me, and I really enjoyed being able to like fully navigate the whole aspect of it all.
Of course, as a football player, what has it been like getting to play in the NFL, XFL, and CFL along with the USFL?
So I actually never got to do the XFL, and we'll see if that even stays the thing. This the merger talk. But it's been great. Like you get to see the different atmospheres, the different levels of competition and skill of income, realistically, because the different levels of stadiums and fields, everything come down to who brings in the most revenue. But end of the day, for me, football is football. For some people, they view it as a job. I view it as a game. 24. I love playing it.
Of course,
It's a game for me. I still love it.
what are some of the biggest similarities and differences between, let's say, the NFL and the USFL?
Biggest similarities, you have people who want to be there. We all have that kind of mindset of, well, we're trying to get back to the NFL, or we're trying to be there, we're trying to do this, that, or whatever. So you have people who care. Differences, of course, are NFL talent is the best, the best, the best. We all know this. USFL guys, I've noticed there are a lot of us are guys trying to get there, trying to get back to there, are trying to prolong your career. So you have dudes who either been in the NFL who are coming out and they're just playing for fun, dudes who got overlooked in college and they're trying to show that, hey, you overlooked me and I want to play. And then dudes who got like maybe a cup of tea in the NFL and they're trying to get back. So the talent level is there. Maybe you got overlooked because you're too short or you're this, that, or whatever. It is guys who care about football. People who are like, you know what? I'm going to put my body on the line for just a slim chance that I get a chance.
What have been some of your favorite memories and moments as a Michigan Panther?
Playing wise, absolutely loved playing four spots in a game. Loved that. Uh, when we played New Jersey, the Generals, and we beat them to like give us a shot at making the playoffs, we literally finished off that game by Reggie Corbin yelling where he was running the ball, telling the defense he was coming behind me. Ryan, I'm right behind you. Ryan, I'm right behind you. Get moved. Ryan, I'm like, dude, any of them know any first name, they can realize exactly where the ball is going. But all right, I got you, man. And then honestly, my living situation, I had four roommates. I lived with Josh Love, Kyle Kramer, Shane Griffin, and Cole Murphy. So it's me, starting quarterback, and then all three specialists. Absolutely loved it. We had a 5-bedroom house. We spent all of our time together. We would go on Taco Bell runs and drop like $180 on feeding all of us. Taco Bell hated us in Ann Arbor, but the aspect of just having the guys who are like-minded, who want to be there with you, who love doing what we're doing, and want to get back to the NFL, that is one of the best moments because you're in a place where, granted, you probably don't know anyone when you first get there. We're from all around the country. I had to live with like 2 other dudes from California. I went to a Styx concert with one of them the other day. Like absolutely great things, and I absolutely loved every second of it.
Of course, what is it like getting to play against those teams like New Orleans Breakers, Houston Gamblers, and even New Jersey Generals?
It's great because again, you're seeing guys who are trying to get back to the NFL, guys who love what they're doing for a living, guys who are hard nosed grinders who they're playing the game the way they think the game needs to be played. We're guys who are playing. You play through an injury because you want a shot. You play through you don't feeling so great because you want a shot. Finding a reason to always play the game you love because it's the game you love. That is what I'm really into. That's what I love doing.
Who are some of the people that you look up to in the USFL community?
In the USFL community, ooh, one of my favorite dudes that I've played football with, Ethan Westbrook. Absolutely love his ethic off the field and all the stuff he does for the community. Man goes by, does volunteering everywhere he can go, give back to the community, stuff like that. Love that. Ethan's a journeyman. I think he did like 9 years in the NFL. Love that. Breland Speaks, another guy I went against every day during practice. Absolute dog. Man has the work ethic, the effort. He's a captain. He's a leader through and through. Loves playing with Breland. My offensive line coach, Tim Holt. That man has coached me on so many different things, so many different ways, showing me like you can change up a set or anything like that with your feet and still win, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else, as long as it makes sense to you. Love that. Let me think. Steve Kaiser, our GM. That man's over here, already had a long NFL scouting career, coaching career. Being a GM, getting this league off the ground, helping guys out. He's in meetings pulling up scouting reports on dudes, trying to explain XYZs, and you're like, oh, okay. And everyone in my offensive line group, like, we all have our different story and how we got there, and we all have our different backgrounds of, oh well, married kids or single or got the NFL, was there for a little bit, or never got the shot. Every single one of those dudes who brought a positive work ethic every day and grinded through it regardless of what was going on in their life, love that. That's the way football should be played to me.
What's it like getting to meet your fans and having them ask for your autographs and photos with you?
It's great. I actually have like videos that someone had taken of me like, signing autographs, and looking back on it, it's like just seeing a kid light up, seeing the smile on their face after, and seeing that such a small thing for me that takes 2 seconds made their day. So that's why for me, like I will sign after games for as long as I can until they come get me. Because for these kids, like this may be a one-time thing for them. Maybe the one time they have to go to a game. And you signing an autograph that takes literally 20 seconds can change that kid's full day, could make his life just a little bit better. I'll sign whenever I'm asked to. The only thing I will not sign is I will not sign at school with my students because when I'm there, I'm Mr. Nelson. I'm just a teacher.
Of course, what is it like getting to see your fans wearing your jersey and representing you?
Sadly, with the life of any offensive lineman, no one does that. I mean, we're completely unnoticed until we do something wrong, and then you notice us. But I would love to see it. I mean, if any fan wants to wear my jersey and you reach out to me and you tell me you're wearing my jersey, I will sign it. I will take a photo with you. You might follow you back on Instagram. I don't care what you need. I'm looking for the first person to wear a Ryan Nelson jersey at a game. Besides my family. My family's going to beat you to it because last year one of my best friends and her mom beat you to it. So my best friend Anna got married, and she's from Detroit, and her and her mom came to a game wearing jerseys they had custom made. But if anyone outside of my close friend group wears it and I see you, you best believe we're taking photos. I'm signing it. You're about to be my best friend. We'll be pen pals. I don't even care.
What have been some of your favorite memories and moments so far throughout your football career?
Favorite memories and moments. Collegiately, like I said, it was beating Tech, and it was like the celebrating after. Professionally, we beat the Stars to secure a playoff spot, and my entire family was in attendance and just celebrating with them after. I don't think I went to bed that night till like 3 a.m. just because it was a night game. I went out, we got dinner, but I had my dad, my mom, my brother were in town, my best friend and her family, my cousin. Like, it was great. I absolutely loved it. It was electric. Uh, the feeling of having a great game. Like, I remember that game had a few plays where I pulled and absolutely lit someone up for huge games. So loved it. I loved the atmosphere. Loved playing in front of the people I care about the most.
What advice would you give those future people that are looking to play collegiate football?
Best advice I could give is be coachable. Like I said earlier, every coach is going to coach you a little differently. Try it, figure out what works best for you, and go with it. And then there are so many dudes who have played before you who are willing to help. I tell people all the time, you DM me and you want to train, you come to my training, whatever, I will train you. I will work with you, and I will be brutally honest on things you need to work on because that's the way it needs to be. Find someone who wants to help. We will help you. We will train with you. We will support you. We will give you that network and that support system that you may be lacking. Because a lot of people, it's like, I'm a small town. No one's done this to my family. Or no one's done this, whatever. No one's played like that. There's dudes you have, and we will help. I will help you. You hit me up and you're like, hey, I want to learn some offensive line stuff. I got you. I'll train you. That's fine. After my training session, I spent another 30 minutes the other day just showing a kid how to open up his hips when he rolls through on a block, how to explode, do stuff like that. Like, I have no problem helping you, and I know I'm not the only one who says that. Other people will help you too.
What advice would you give those college football players out there that are looking to make that next jump to the NFL, to professional football, whether it's the NFL, XFL, CFL, or even USFL?
Enjoy the moment because it's about to get really fast, really hectic, and it does become more of a job. Enjoy the moment now, live in it, love it, and just continue to look forward to what's coming while still living in the moment.
What advice would you give those future USFL football players out there?
Love what you do, because if you love what you do, you're not really working. If I love my job, am I really working? No, I'm doing what I love to do. Because that's my mindset every day. I love what I do. I love what I do for work. I love the people I get to be around. Makes life so much easier.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
So my Instagram is 54 as a number 5, number 4, R Nelson as an Nelson. And if you guys want to follow me, reach out, ask questions. I always answer. A lot of people I do not answer my students because I will not answer my students. I left a little link if they have any like anonymous questions they want to ask, but you guys can reach out, you can follow me, message me. I respond really quick, usually within maybe an hour or two, unless I'm training. But yeah, 54 R Nelson on Instagram. I think my Twitter handle is like Ryan_Nelson_54. Again, I reach out, I'll respond on that one, but really easy to find. I respond back really quick, and I'm there for you guys.
Thank you again, Ryan Nelson, for your interview, and best luck in your future with the Michigan Panthers and the USFL.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Ryan Nelson, for your interview, and best luck in your future.
Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.